Alright guys, welcome back to this video. I'm going to be showing you how your scapular strength is important in calisthenics. So first off, pull-ups. Most people will just jump up to the bar and start doing their pull-ups. That means your shoulder is going to be way out of position, and what you want to do instead is practice doing scapular shrugs. As you see here, it's a very small but short movement, and it's an important movement to help you stabilize your scapula. So all you want to do is grab the bar about shoulder width or the same grip as you would with pull-ups, and then pull down with straight arms. So in a pull-up set, this is how it would look. You would do the scapular shrug and then you would do your pull-up. So then what happens is your back contracts a lot more and you make the movement a lot safer on your back, and you can actually perform more pull-ups and safer. You can also practice scapular retraction on a simple exercise such as feet elevated rows, which you'll see here demonstrated. So retract, pull. Again, straight arms, retract, pull. Retraction basically refers to bringing your shoulder blades closer together. This sets you up well for any type of pulling movement. Now let's take a look at how we can utilize our scapula on pushing exercises. So here I'm demonstrating a typical set of dips that most people would do, which basically just means walking up to the bar, jumping on it, and then starting their dips. You want to actually slow down, grab the bar with straight arms, or bent arms to start off with. Then with straight arms, you want to push down. That's called scapular depression, as you see here, and then do the dip. What happens when you do the scapular depression, which is a small movement but an important movement, is that your shoulders end up in a much safer position. Even world record holders on dips that push extremely heavy weights ensure to have their scapula depressed before they go down into the dip. This is how the scapular depression element of the dip would look itself without the actual dip. So what you want to basically be doing is focusing on pushing down into the bars with straight arms, which will then elevate your body and therefore cause your shoulders to be in a much safer position. Let's move on to how we can start training for the planche, which requires scapular protraction. Scapular protraction basically means pushing your shoulder blades away from each other. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, retraction with an R, which will be on screen, means bringing your shoulder blades together, and protraction means bringing them away from each other. So in this situation, I'm doing push-ups with my scapula retracted, meaning that I'm going to be using my chest and my triceps more. As you see, my shoulder blades are pretty much closer together, and I'm doing that deliberately. Now what I'm doing is I'm bringing my shoulder blades away from each other, or I'm trying my best to at least, and that would be called an attempt at trying to protract. So protraction is basically going to be utilized for any type of planche training or shoulder training, and it basically means pushing your shoulder blades away. Now let's cover the final element of scapular training, which is scapular elevation. So in a handstand, for example, you might be kicking up as you see me doing right here and struggling to hold it, or maybe there's a slight arch in your back. This is because you're not pushing into the ground with straight arms and elevating your body, which is basically scapular elevation. So what you can do is use a pole, and then you want to let your hips sink, and then you want to push out with straight arms. As you might notice, all of these exercises require you to produce force with straight arms. So they're a bit unnatural, and you won't feel very good doing them at the start because your confidence is not going to be high. But you want to basically work on them because they will help you to unlock all the skill moves a lot easier. So once you do that exercise and then kick up into the handstand, you're going to be able to push down into the ground with straight arms, which will lead your body to go upwards, and you're going to hold a nice and straight handstand. If you benefited from this video, subscribe and like.